Here we are with RBG Talks with Sarah, and today we have our one great entrepreneur, Joseph, leading his electric company. Welcome, Joseph. So, Joseph.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's my first time doing an interview.
Don't worry, we won't give you a hard time, or we might. Okay, so let's start. It's a series of 23 questions, out of which five are going to be a rapid fire at the later of the series. And these you can take your time, explain in detail. And I guess it will be a great guide for people who are just starting up, maybe in your industry or maybe as an entrepreneur, right? Okay. Yeah. So, my first question is, what inspired you to start your own business?
Well, I grew up, my dad was a contractor and, he was in business for himself. My grandfather as well. So they really played a really big role in, as a kid, seeing them, doing business. I remember as a kid, I would have a calculator with play money, and I wanted to act as I had a business. Mm-hmm. And so little did I know as a kid that I would grow up and follow down that same path. So that's basically how that came into fruition. And as a kid, my dad really instilled a lot of hard work ethic in me, because people have the misconception about business.
Yes, sir. How do you define the success in your business?
How do I define? That's really a good question, and it's really a hard question to answer because I don't allow success to define who I am, right? My success is in my family, and business is more second nature to me. Even though, there are a lot of successful people, I'm successful, I just don't measure it in a sense that the world measures success, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. Okay. What challenges did you face when you were starting your company, and how did you overcome them?
And a lot of challenges in business, and a lot of it has to do with learning how to communicate and learning how to be disciplined. And those are the two main ingredients that you need to be successful in business. And as far as overcoming them, it's about putting one foot in front of the other and not allowing failure to determine where you're going.
That's great. I guess discipline is actually very necessary in anything you do.
Yes. But especially business.
Especially business. Yeah. How do you stay motivated specifically at the tough times in your business?
I hate to get spiritual because we're talking about business, but my faith in God is what keeps me grounded and continuing to be surrounded by people like-minded like me, and my family is the key. I believe any successful businessman out there has a family that keeps him grounded. So that's how I stay grounded.
What's your number one tip for achieving work-life balance?
Self, taking care of yourself. Sometimes you have to be selfish. I love to fish. I love to be, in a boat at 5 a.m. in the morning. Most people don't like to wake up that early, but I love to be out before the sun sets. And I believe that the key to being able to continue on is to take time to yourself and to enjoy life. And that, life is not all about work and business. It's more to life than work and business. And so that's That's how you got to really balance it. That's how you have to really balance, that.
Right. So you would say you're a very early riser?
Yes.
How would you differentiate, Joseph, your services for everyone else in your competition?
So what I've learned over the years is that, especially now in this day and age, it didn't, like, I'm a little bit older, right? I'm in my 40s now, but I remember growing up as a kid, people mean what they say and say what they mean. They held their word. I mean, you can do business transactions on a handshake, but you can't do that now. And so what separates me is that I really do care about the service that I provide. I care about the people that I work for. I care about the end product. I care about the deliverance. I care about the customer service after, So what separates me, I think, in this day and age is even big conglomerate companies that have been around for a long time, they don't really care anymore about their customers and care about, really standing behind their service and the product that they're delivering. And I think that that's a huge issue in construction right now as a whole. So that's what would separate me.
I would agree to that. That's a very, very big differentiator with a lot of people that I have talked to.
Yeah.
Can you share a lesson or a mistake that you made that significantly impacted your business?
Yeah, I can. About 5 years ago, I was just starting out, maybe a little longer than that. I was just starting out, and going back to what I said, in years past, 10, 15, 20 years ago, you could do business on a transaction handshake. You wouldn't need a contract. But I put too much trust in a contractor, and it turned around to really teach me a valuable lesson because it cost me a lot. It cost me a lot of money, it cost me a lot of headache, it cost me a lot of time. But even through the pain that I went through, even through everything that I had to go through in that moment in time, having to go to court, having to get a lawyer, having to do all of those things, it taught me a lot about business. And it taught me that, doing everything in how the law says that you should do business, that's how we should all do business to keep each other honest. And so it just taught me a lot. It taught me how to learn how to do contracts and to keep people honest and to make sure that I'm protecting myself and my employees and my business, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. What is your morning ritual? What does your morning rituals look like?
To be honest with you, I don't have rituals. I used to be one that gets up, I kind of am, the same every day. I get up, I get a cup of coffee, I sit there for a little bit, just kind of gather my thoughts. As you get older in time, you don't move as fast as you used to. So my morning ritual is to just really try to spend time in prayer, reading my word. It doesn't always, happen that way, right? Because sometimes I'm tired. I've been working long hours, driving. So don't always get to do that because sometimes I might have to just get up, eat breakfast, and roll out. But in a perfect world, that's what it looks like is getting up and really taking that first step to gathering your thoughts, meditating, praying, and then starting your day in hopes that, everything will be perfect.
And do you think you're going to pass it on to your kids as well?
Yeah.
By the way, how many do you have?
Just one daughter.
Perfect.
I thought when I was younger I would have like 20, but, that never happened. So. Yeah, and I'm getting older now, so I think she's already 11. So I think that she's about to be a teenager. So I don't think that having a baby is in the cards for me anymore.
Okay. What trends do you foresee in your industry that you think is going to change the face or the direction of this industry?
Creating more content, taking the advice that you and Manan had given me, that we've been working on since last week, is creating content and video and trying to be creative in what we're creating, to kind of catch people's eyes, to hone in on who Let There Be Light is. It's not just a company, an organization, or corporation. It's really got people behind it that they're just doing it for livelihood, right? But I'm doing it to help people too. I love what I do. I love doing electrical work. I love what I do, and you got to love what you do.
Yes, you do. All right. What is the best piece of advice you would give to anybody who is just starting out?
Don't give up. Don't give up when times get hard, or when your back's against the wall, or I mean, the cards could be stacked against you, and it just looks like there's no hope. But if you continue the course, it's nothing is easy in life, especially business, and especially, there's a lot of people that want to be in business that think that it's a glamorous life, and you have more time to yourself, and it's just not true. People who own businesses work harder than anybody else that I've ever seen, because they have to. And so when you failure is not the end game. Failure is learning and lessons, and taking those lessons and making something out of those lessons. It's either a lesson or a blessing. And
That's
don't
a
give
good
up.
way to put
Put
it.
one foot in front of the other. That's all you can do.
That's a very good way to put it. Makes it positive all the time. There is no negative sense to it.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the weirdest, funny question that your customer has ever asked you?
Do I know what I'm doing? Am I sure that I know how to do what I'm doing? I haven't really been asked many weird questions, or any that I can really remember, other than, somebody asking somebody who's, has a license, has been doing it for a while, because, there's a lot of people out there that think they know what they're doing, but they don't.
Yes, sir. If your business had a theme song, what song would represent?
If my team had a theme song, Solid as a Rock.
Are you gonna sing it for us? Like 2 lines?
Huh?
Are you gonna sing it for us? 2 lines?
No, you don't want me to sing. You don't want me to sing. Trust me, I'm horrible.
We wouldn't mind it, I feel anything, you can learn anything for anybody who is successful. Okay, moving on. What's the most unusual and unconventional business advice you have ever received that actually worked?
Less is more.
That's great. Okay.
Less is more. What I mean by that is, less is, sometimes we look at other companies, corporations, or people that have been in business for a long time, and we see that they have a big business or a lot of people, and they're doing a lot of things, but, they didn't get there overnight. And sometimes being smaller is more than being bigger, if that makes sense.
Are you ready for a rapid fire round?
Yes.
I guess.
You only You only get to answer in 1 or 2 words, and it needs to be super quick. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Favorite business book?
Bible.
Most influential entrepreneur?
Oh. Um. Sydney Farrell.
Biggest source of inspiration?
My faith.
Do you believe in ghosts?
No. No. No, I don't.
Okay. Tell me one word that you are going to live by for the rest of your life.
One word. Um. Loyalty.
Well, that's great. This is our set of 23 questions, Joseph, with you. And I hope that we are going to come back for another session, maybe some more interesting, more inspiring, and more humor questions. And for the next series. And that's it for now. And would you like to say last words to our audience?
I want to give a shout out to Rebrain Gurus. They really are really top in the marketing industry, and so I appreciate y'all having me and doing this and taking the time out of your day to make this happen.
All right, perfect, audience. This is Sarah signing off with 23 questions with Joseph. I'll see you in the next video.